Self-care, self-love. I call self-care self-love because we need to start showing up for ourselves. We need to be aware. On average, we have about 60,000 thoughts a day. That's just a normal walk through the park day. Think about when you're feeling overwhelmed, overstimulated, right? And you want to have conversations like that. You want to get your work done with that many thoughts going on. You have to become aware. On average, it's about 60,000 thoughts a day. Now, you have a letter, and I want you to think about this. I want you to write down all the thoughts that you have for yourself a day. I'm ugly. I'm not good enough. You're stupid. Give up. Stop trying. No one loves you. You're a bad mom. You think you're an author? Question mark. At the top, say, dear mom, dear best friend, dear sister. Fold that, sealed it. You wouldn't give that to them. You wouldn't say those things to your mom, to your sister, to anyone in this group. But these are things we say to ourselves every day. On average, we have 60,000 thoughts a day. 80% of those are negative. So that means 48,000 times a day, I'm telling myself that I'm not an author. I'm telling myself to give up. I'm telling myself that I'm not a good mom. If I tell myself that 48,000 times a day, what do you think's going to happen? I'm going to start to believe it. Then I'm going to look for ways that I'm going to validate that thought. Mandy's wrote 3 chapters. I only wrote 1. Another reason why I'm not a good enough author. That's why I should give up. She's already on Amazon. Oh, another reason why I should give up. You start to make these lists of reasons why to validate those thoughts, to prove them right. Looking for the proof. So I would challenge you in a couple ways. First, not right this second, after today, on your free time, which we'll get to in just a second. I would challenge you and say, make a list of all the consistent negative thoughts. What are those thoughts that you tell yourself every day, that you catch yourself, that you say to yourself, right? And I would put a line down. And then right next to each thought, I would ask you, who put that there? Who said those things? And I would really want you to think about, did I put that thought there? Or did somebody else? And what typically happens is we put them there ourselves. But how cool is it if I put them there? Guess who can take them away? Right? We're back to thinking about what we are in control of. You set the standards for how others are showing up for you. So I need to think about where my standards are being set. If I think low of myself, then my validation of myself is low. And I say, meet me down here. Where do you think you're going to meet me? Down here. But if I start to raise that bar, can't eat in my car, it's my standards. No shoes in my house, it's my standards. Don't call me after 8. I'm sleeping. You don't got me after 8. It's my standards. If I raise that bar, guess where you're going to meet me? Right? I set those standards because those are things that I'm in control of. So how do we do this? Well, my doctor said, Jess, you're at the age of 24. You need to sit with yourself. You need to start working on your brain, all the things. And I was like, how the heck am I going to do this? What does he want me to do? He told me to sit with these thoughts. You know how many thoughts we have? Okay, thank you. Didn't know how many thoughts we had back then. So the first time I sat down, poof, okay. So I thought about my grandparents, and they're very successful business owners. They are very successful in the relationship. Obviously, they always had their ups and downs. We all do, but they're still together. And one of the things that they are really adamant about is making time for themselves, even though when they've had multiple businesses and they had kids and grandkids, they were always adamant about making time for yourself. My grandma every morning would have her cup of coffee in bed. Grandpa would make it, and bring it right to her. There was no disturbing her because that was her standards. First cup of coffee is in bed. Don't you dare open that door until afterwards, right? That was her standards. So I brought this to myself and I said, okay, I love a cup of coffee in the morning. Why don't I just sit with it? And I absolutely hate cold coffee. So I was like, okay, it's 2 minutes by myself every single day. I can do that. So my cheesy saying is drink the coffee while it's still hot. It's 2 minutes a day, just me, myself, my coffee. No social media, no books, no journals, just me, myself. Because what starts to happen when I start to make time for me, I start to learn about me. You know, that notebook saying when he goes, what do you want? I now know what I want because I make time for myself. I know what I want, I need, so I can communicate that. I can tell husband, kids, niece, nephew, admin assistant, this is what I need. This is where I need support. I can communicate that. I can set those standards. The crazy thing is, it starts with 2 minutes a day.